Hello, TC. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to the annual Teachers College State of the College Address. It is so exciting to be able to hold this event again in person. As a student who was here before the pandemic, during our vital years, and still active as we return today, it's amazing to see how resilient, adaptable the college has been. Much of that is due to the consistent support of the staff and faculty during this transition. Of course, I would like to recognize our amazing teacher college students. The commitment, excitement, and understanding the students' body has shown reflects the amazing sense of community we have here at TC. As Student Senate President, I am fortunate to meet monthly with President Bailey and Provost Baldwin to discuss the student experience. In those meetings, I've learned that both President Bailey and Provost Baldwin have been with TC for many years in a number of roles, and both have seen and led the college through many challenges and celebrations. However, my biggest takeaway from each meeting is how deeply they care about students and how they consistently are working on strategies to remove barriers, create opportunities, and to make our TC journey a valuable one. I've been excited for the state of the college because you all get to hear many updates I've learned over the past year, which surely demonstrates the commitment of our current leadership. Their passion is shared by the members of the Student Senate. We're focused on advocacy that centers on specific student needs, such as financial aid, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and remote learning and advising. We have the pleasure of engaging in thoughtful yet challenging conversations to take in all perspectives. I'm honored to lead the group for the second year as president as we work to uncover solutions and elevate the student voice together. Now it is my pleasure to introduce my friend, President Tom Bailey.
It's always nice to have our TC music here, so thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you, Marion, for those thoughtful words. Really appreciate your leadership of the Senate. What you've done, I think, has really helped us, make the student experience much better. So also, we look forward to the dinner an annual dinner that the cabinet has with the Student Senate next week, and of course, we really look forward to continuing to work with you throughout the year. So thank you, really. So hello, everyone. Come on, let's go. All right, no, I know that's kind of old, so. It's an honor to fill you in on the state of the college in person for the first time in 3 years. I'm not going to tell you to hold your applause to the end. You can keep applauding. So. Also, I feel a renewed sense of spirit throughout the buildings and across the campus. And as always, I'm awed by the power of this extraordinary community to join forces and make a difference in the world. I think we're clearly reaching new heights, and I'm thrilled that we're doing it face to face. Now, before we delve into the state of the college, let's step back for a moment and think about what we are here for and why we do what we do. Teachers College strives to create a smarter, healthier, and more equitable world. And that work is needed now more than ever. We face a crisis in the teaching profession, structural racism and discrimination in our education and health systems, disparities in mental and physical wellness, an urgent need to address sustainability, and so much more. These are big challenges that our skills and expertise prepare us to help solve. The college believes that each of you, as part of this community, plays a role in accomplishing our overall vision, and in turn, we are committed to helping you realize your goals. How? Because we will provide students with the education and experience and support they need to succeed in their chosen fields. Because faculty will have the resources and a network of colleagues that position them to excel as researchers, teachers, and mentors. Because TC will offer staff professional development and clear pathways for career growth. These are our goals, and meeting them is a collective effort. Today, I want to celebrate the many ways in which our students, faculty, staff, alumni, and board members work together to make all of this happen, and ultimately promote and strengthen the state of our college. So let me start by acknowledging several longtime faculty members who have graciously stepped into critical administrative roles this past year. Thank you, Celia Euler, for serving as Vice Dean of Teacher Education. Nancy Lesko for serving as the executive editor of the TC Record. And Bill Baldwin for assuming the role of interim provost and dean. That's got to be, thank you, Bill. I want to reiterate my appreciation to Bill for his willingness to take on this hefty and demanding role during this period of transition. In fact, Bill may be relieved to know that the search for our next vice president for academic affairs, provost, and dean of the college is well underway. Thanks are due to everyone in the search committee for their commitment to this effort. And if all goes as planned, finalists will be on campus this winter. Now, in news from the Board of Trustees, I'm delighted that former Vice Chair Leslie Nelson was elected as TC's new board chair, succeeding Bill Rickert, who will remain an active member of the board after his years of service as chair. Like Leslie, Bill has deep family roots at TC, and we are in excellent hands under her leadership. This past year, we welcomed a new cabinet member, Vice President and General Counsel Tamara Britt. Beyond providing guidance and legal counsel, Tamara will be an important convener and an implementer of policies that ensure our core values are honored throughout the college. Earlier this year, we welcomed Robin Davis as Assistant Vice President and Chief Human Resource Officer, who's leading our very important efforts to integrate human services across the college. And this fall, Portia Williams assumed an expanded role as Vice Provost for Academic Planning and Global Affairs, overseeing the newly established Office of Academic Planning and Global Engagement. We recognize that, like New York City, our community is a global community, and our goal in restructuring is to strengthen support for our international students and respond to the unique needs and challenges they face. This happens to be International Education Week, so it is an especially apt time to acknowledge the importance of our global reach and embrace inclusivity. Now, as is true of every academic year, there are new faces among our faculty. We are thrilled to have 24 new full-time faculty and lecturers across the disciplines. I'll be sharing more about their research and scholarship a bit later. Dedicated employees speak to the power of this community. In June, we honored 100 community members for a decade of service to more than half a century, at the first long-term recognition ceremony since 2019. Waverly Kennedy has been keeping us warm as the lead boiler mechanic for 56 years. Of course, we are here doing this work for the students. So let me share a few stats about this year's incoming class. Nearly 1,700 new students joined TC, and 2,958 students, not 2,959, but 2,958 students returned. Our new students hail from 54 countries and 48 states. Now, I guess we need to do some recruiting in Montana and South Dakota. But we have Hawaii and Alaska and North Dakota and Idaho too, right? So, right, Cam? There you go. More than half of the new domestic students identify as students of color, and 24% of our students are first generation. Last week, we celebrated the college's first ever First Gen Week so that community members could come together to share their experiences. So I'm proud to say that we awarded $15 million in institutional aid to new students, and thanks to our strong enrollment and residency rates, as well as wise management, we are looking at a good financial outlook for fiscal year 2023. Now, no doubt, togetherness is the word of the day, and in early September, we held our first in-person new student orientation in 3 years, right here. Now, it was a week of great programming, activities including panels featuring faculty and current students, a talk show, trivia-style TC trivia event, trips to the Apollo and Citi Field, and a scavenger hunt throughout TC offices. Now, if anyone has seen my briefcase, please let me know. Didn't know the president's office was on that, but I'm sure glad people know where that is. So here we are, back on campus again, and TC, like all institutions, is striving to strike a balance between being together as a vibrant community and supporting the current landscape of the working world. I'm pleased that our flexible work policy, introduced by Human Resources earlier this semester, means that we can be here for our students to ensure their success while offering flexibility for our employees. At the end of the year, we will evaluate the policy and make adjustments as needed. Now, I'm delighted to conclude this segment with the announcement of the Elaine Brantley Awards for Community and Civility. Nothing embodies the values of our community more than the recipients of this important award.
The TC community is special. It is the perfect amalgamation of students, faculty, staff, and alumni from all over the world who have dedicated themselves to the pursuit of a smarter, healthier, and more equitable world. We witness this devotion in myriad of ways through research and teaching, advocacy, and active participation in the life of the college. Equally important to our sense of community is the courtesy and kindness we show to each other in our day-to-day interactions. Taking the time to explain something a few times. Waiting that long moment to hold the door even when you are in a rush. Lifting our heads from our devices to greet each other in the hallways. Each individual moment, small, but taken together, they create a community where people want to belong. Teachers College values courtesy and kindness so much so that in 2004, the college created the Elaine Brantley Award for Civility and Community. Created to keep Elaine Brantley's memory alive and vibrant, the award recognizes that for 24 years, Elaine truly crossed all boundaries. She was the cashier in TC's cafeteria, but more powerfully, she was a friend, wise counselor, voice of encouragement, and a smiling face to everyone. The Elaine Brantley Award seeks to recognize TC employees who, by virtue of their daily efforts, go beyond the expectation of their position, promote a sense of community and a culture of civility at the college. TC hopes to raise the awareness of individual contributions to community, and especially civility at TC. Show appreciation for those individuals who contribute to the realization of these goals, and recognize those who excel in making Teachers College a better place to work and learn. Today and every day, as we strive to strengthen the fabric of our community, we honor the recipients of the Elaine Brantley Award for Civility and Community for upholding our shared values.
Thank you, President Bailey, for your kind and inspiring words and your report on the progress of the college. I'm a proud member of the community. Thank you for your leadership. I am honored to be here with you presenting the Elaine Brantley Memorial Award for Community and Civility. This has been a busy and yet exciting academic year thus far. It is especially exciting to reconnect with the TC community in person after not being able to do so for the past 2 years. As Janice noted in the earlier video, through this award, we continue to honor Elaine Brantley's legacy by presenting a special award in the fall, each semester of each academic year, with hopes that their shining example will inspire us throughout the year. This year's recipients inspire us just with their presence. I'm now going to ask President Bailey to join us. This year, the award recipients are, drum roll, Salema Maliga, and Evelyn Quiñones. Now, Evelyn was unable to join us today, but she sends her sincere gratitude to the entire community and especially her colleagues who nominated her for this wonderful award. The descriptions of the recipients, wonderful comments, and accolades come from their colleagues across the college who nominated and recommended them. The Elaine Brantley Award recipients are not aware of their nomination until they have won. So, in the words of our colleagues, I am pleased to introduce this year's recipients. First, Lema Maliga. Lema recently celebrated 7 years working at Teachers College and also recently started a new role as Director for Student Support and Advocacy. Truly, there is no better person to help continue the growth of student advocacy at TC than Lema. Lema embodies the spirit of this award, often going above and beyond in her role and her advocacy for all members of the Teachers College community. Her colleagues describe her as someone who brings kindness, and community to all that she does. Her civility and passion for building relationships resonated daily in her work in residential services and beyond. She constantly strived to improve the lives of students through programs, wellness, and care. Lema also takes great care in building and maintaining relationships with the community members outside of her office. None of her work and dedication goes unnoticed. Lema has greatly impacted and inspired through her volunteering and leadership. Lema is the founder and inspiration of the annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Oratorical and Spoken Word event, now in its 5th year. This wonderful college-wide event brings together the entire community to honor Dr. King's legacy. Lema also leads the Buddy Program for all TC staff. By providing mentorship opportunities, this program strengthens the community by creating meaningful relationships between staff members. Lema goes above and beyond to assure that TC remains an engaged and supportive community in so many ways. And she represents all that this award stands for. Congratulations, Lema. Evelyn Quiñones. Evelyn is presently the Program Secretary for Health Education in the Department of Health and Behavioral Studies. Her commitment and contributions to the program, department, and the college make our lives immeasurably better. Over her more than 2 decades of service to the college, Evelyn has demonstrated herself to be someone whose impact can be measured by the reputation she has forged. Someone of integrity, humor, and caring. She always brings energy and enthusiasm to her interactions with students, faculty, and staff. Evelyn's devotion to courtesy, kindness, and respect for others is infectious and consistently inspires all who interact with her every day. You cannot help but feel uplifted after an interaction with Evelyn. She is always positive, always interested in our lives and work, and she always makes it a point to acknowledge a thank you with a "you're welcome." She is always sensitive to and considerate of others, and never has an unkind word to say about anyone in the community. Evelyn cares about everyone, and it shows. It is demonstrated through her concern about the welfare of others, by always checking in on staff in other offices, inquiring about their families and their health, or sending a personal note or an email at a time of loss. She is the epitome of tireless service to the TC community, and her selfless devotion to the act of giving from her heart is genuine and thus make her an ideal candidate for this award. Congratulations, Evelyn.
All right. Lots of congratulations there. So Emma, thank you again. So all of you are so vital to our community, and we thank you. Now, Teachers College has always led the way by exploring issues that matter, committing resources, and making space to create solutions. Individually and together, we play an essential role in addressing our society's most pressing challenges in the areas of education, health, and psychology. And we all know that these efforts are as important today, if not more so, than ever before. With that in mind, I'd like to share highlights of some exciting work that is underway. Let me begin with our efforts to institutionalize diversity, equity, and inclusion. We published our inaugural DEI report, led by Janice Robinson, this past spring by presenting a comprehensive overview of the college's current diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. The report is on our website and provides an initial data baseline against which we will evaluate future efforts. An important priority outlined in the report is to diversify our faculty. To achieve this, we implemented a target of opportunity recruitment process and other initiatives that allow departments to engage faculty candidates outside of the typical recruitment procedures. Partly as a result, 2/3 of this year's tenured and tenure-track hires are from diverse racial, ethnic backgrounds. That makes this one of the most diverse faculty hiring years in the college's history. Faculty searches are in progress now, and I look forward to welcoming a diverse group of faculty next year. And as part of the inclusive faculty search process, all committee chairs and members are receiving training on how to reduce bias during the searches. Now, we certainly know that bias and inequity continue to be, continue, it's always nice to have some help. We certainly know that bias and inequity continue to be magnified across the nation. We also know that TC remains at the forefront of work to break down structural racism, bias, bigotry, and disparities in health, education, and mental well-being. This is true of our new faculty as well. Bettina Love joined TC this year as William F. Russell Professor in the Foundations of Education. Her highly recognized work on abolitionist teaching is introducing students to ways to foster change and equity in our schools. This fall, Ezekiel Dixon Roman is a visiting professor with TC's Edwin W. Gordon Institute for Urban and Minority Education. In January, he will become Professor of Critical Race, Media, and Educational Studies and the new director of the Gordon Institute. He brings a critical new lens to the intersections of race, power, and technology. Their efforts add to the Gordon Institute's work and that of faculty across TC to improve equity among underserved communities, from developing a Black Studies curriculum for New York City schools, deepening knowledge of the history of Harlem for teachers, to examining the civic identities of indigenous youth attending urban public schools. We also thank current director Erica Walker for her many vital contributions to TC as she heads to the University of Toronto as Dean of the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education. And we look forward to celebrating the Gordon Institute's 50th anniversary in the coming year. And its founder, Professor Emeritus Edmund Gordon, who is 101. So across every area of the college, our faculty are making change and forging new ground in a world that very much needs their efforts. There's the landmark work of Kim Noble, Professor of Neuroscience and Education. Earlier this year, initial findings of her study revealed that providing a supplemental monthly compensation to low-income mothers appeared to have a positive impact on the brain development of their infants in the first years of life. There is Associate Professor Amra Sabich El Reyes, and her work on the role that educators and students can play in preventing targeted hate and violence. The Department of Homeland Security has recently awarded a second $750,000 grant for her work, and on November 28th, we will join AMRA to launch TC's International Lab for Research and Leadership in Interface Collaboration and Coexistence. Yolanda Celia Ruiz, Associate Professor of English Education, is a leading voice for ways that racially literate teachers can improve outcomes for Black and Brown children in our schools. This year, the National Council of Teachers of English awarded Celia Ruiz and co-author Deetra Price-Dennis the David H. Russell Award for Distinguished Research in the Teaching of English. And Professor of Clinical Psychology Douglas Menon and colleagues at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center are in the third year of a $3.9 million grant from the National Institutes of Health. They are studying a therapy he has developed and refined called emotion regulation therapy to treat distressed caregivers of patients with cancer. Faculty and students across the college are collaborating on research, curricula, and advocacy focused on climate change and sustainability, topics of critical importance to TC and to our future. I look forward to continuing to collaborate with all of you this year to ensure that we are making sustainability a priority here on campus and in our own lives. Just a very small example, our reception menu this afternoon is 100% meat-free. Of course, all of this critical work needs strong research funding, and we continue to strengthen our research infrastructure under the leadership of Vice Dean for Research, Carol Hammer, and her team. In fact, we saw a 22% increase in dollars awarded in fiscal year 22 over 21, for a total of nearly $49 million in grants and contracts. We just co-hosted an important first-of-its-kind event with Columbia and Barnard. We're calling it TCUB, to explore how our institutions can collaborate on research and tap into TC's expertise in a way that optimizes impact. Approximately 150 faculty and researchers participated. The more power you put behind something, the bigger the punch. And we are putting that kind of big punch behind TC's Digital Futures Institute, led by DFI Managing Director and Vice Dean for Digital Innovation, Lalitha Vasudevan, and Executive Director, Charles Lang. DFI continues to gain momentum as an interdisciplinary hub that explores new uses of technology through teaching, research, and public engagement. This fall, DFI introduced the Tech Playground series, a chance for TC community to engage with new technologies and experimental and playful ways. During the first few events, there were opportunities to experiment with augmented and virtual reality applications, or you could try your hand at creating your own new media forms. DFI has launched Teachers Supporting Teachers to help early career K-12 teachers throughout New York integrate tech into their lesson plans. And last month, as part of its efforts to foster public discourse, DFI's fourth podcast series, How's School?, featured TC faculty experts on a range of issues affecting young people. One more thing, over the course of the past year, DFI has led an initiative called The Future of Teaching at TC, bringing together faculty and lecturers from across the college. The goal was to explore the current and emerging landscape of digital and hybrid teaching and propose directions for further exploration and growth. Digital tools hold the potential to transform classrooms, and these efforts are making it happen by developing high-quality materials and pedagogical practices, expanding access and inclusion, and in broadening forms of academic discourse. Thanks to everyone who participated. We look forward to sharing findings in the coming months. Now, all of this brings me back to thinking about the leaders of tomorrow, our extraordinary students who never cease to inspire and amaze me. Ilana Grach is a doctoral student in counseling and clinical psychology She earned her master's degree from TC as well. She's detecting aspects of facial movements and voice that may indicate greater suicide risk among teens and young adults. Ilana recently received the prestigious Ruth L. Kirstein Predoctoral Individual National Research Service Award. Tuthu Meo is earning a Master of Science in our nutrition program and doing remarkable work that will have an impact on the people of her home country, Myanmar. She received a TC Dean's Grant this year to support a research project on food and nutrition insecurity among civil servants participating in Myanmar's civil disobedience movement. And let's give a collective shout out to Billy Green, who was the New York State Department of Education Educator of the Year, the state's highest honor for educators. Green, who is currently pursuing his PhD in philosophy, is a chemistry teacher at A. Philip Randolph Campus High School in Manhattan. Now we continue to create pathways for student success from the outset of the application process through graduation and into their professional lives so that all of our students can reach their goals. This begins here with a commitment to doing all we can to ensure that exceptional students from all backgrounds, experience, and means can afford to attend TC with fewer financial obstacles and less debt. Over the past year, we have undergone a comprehensive assessment of our financial aid practices. A financial aid change committee, chaired by our Chief Enrollment Officer, Tani Castañeda, aims to propose newly structured doctoral and master's financial aid programs this coming spring. We have also renewed our focus on raising money to fund financial aid, and we will soon have news to share about support for pursuing MA degrees in teacher certification. We also continue to provide students in need with short-term resources through TC's Emergency Fund and the Columbia University Food Pantry. Today, an applaud for this one too. Today it's my pleasure to announce that we will be funding a new initiative this year to provide academic attire at no cost to master's degree students with the greatest financial need. So there are so many ways in which our Division of Student Affairs is connecting with students from the moment they arrive. That's why, in addition to orientation, nearly 450 new students were paired with student life ambassadors to help them acclimate to the graduate school experience. Yes, thank you. Through a donation by TC trustee Carol Sleeper, the Office of Graduate Student Life and Development created the new position of Student Parent Coordinator, focused on the needs of student parents at the college. A few weeks ago, they hosted our first ever Family Day for children of our student parents, and more than 60 families attended. So how do we help students find the resources they need? We have restructured our student wellness area, now called Student Support and Advocacy, to keep students connected with what's available to them at both TC and CU. This office is a first point of contact for the teacher college community in any situation where student support is needed. Now, I'm delighted that one of our brand new Elaine Brantley Award winners, Lema Moliga, leads this area. Now, as Lema often says, have a dilemma, go to Lema. Our Career Services Office, TC Next, continues to expand services for students and alumni as they navigate their professional pathways. Last year alone, 468 new employers signed on with TC Next. And the numbers reflect this success. 93% of our graduating students who responded to our 2022 survey indicated that they are either working in or have secured employment in a field that aligns with their TC goals. Together with the TC experience, Student Affairs is also building stronger ties between TC students and alumni from underrepresented groups by creating spaces for them to network and connect. Now, clearly, our students are why we are here, and a great source of pride. I know that they join me in thanking the TC faculty who mentor and guide them in so many fields of endeavor, and we will now recognize our 2022 faculty awardees.
In the spring of 2020, the Provost launched the Teachers College Teaching Award as a way to support and foster best practices in pedagogy. Central to this award is that the recipients are determined purely by student votes. Through this awards process, Teachers College seeks to honor both student voices and excellence in teaching by our faculty. In evaluating the nominations, we learned that while our students deeply value excellent pedagogy, they also celebrate faculty who are creative, who take the time to mentor them, to bring humor into the classroom, who show up as their authentic selves, and who ask their students to do the same. During the nomination process, we were so pleased to hear from many students about our faculty. One student noted in a nomination that their faculty member is the lighthouse for all of her students. Another said, "From my first day of class, I have felt nothing but warmth, compassion, and truth." And another said, he is also open to hear other points of view, even if they challenge his own. Today and every day, we celebrate faculty in their critical roles as researchers, teachers, leaders, and mentors. And we thank them for meaningfully touching the lives of our students. And so first of all, I would like to thank President Bailey for centering faculty excellence in teaching as part of our annual State of the College event, because it really communicates just how important teaching is for faculty and for our students. So right now I want to go ahead and recognize this year's Teaching Award winners. They are here in the room. Professors Pam Koch and Deborah Newmare, please come up. And so as we said in the video, we already presented both Pam and Deborah a plaque as well as an award of $1,000 for their excellence in teaching. And so in addition to that, we also have some special words we want to share with you from the student nominators themselves. So for Professor Pam Koch, Pam has been with Teachers College for many years, though we are thrilled that she is now the Mary Swartz Rose Associate Professor in Nutrition Education, in addition to her longtime role as Faculty Director of the Lori M. Tisch Center for Food, Education, and Policy. To quote one of Professor Koch's student nominators, this is what the student said: "Dr. Koch is the most caring, knowledgeable, and humble educator I have ever met. She genuinely cares about the success of every student. She always admits when she makes mistakes or has had failures in the past. And she is so easy to approach and confide in. When I think of the nutrition program at TC, I think of Dr. Koch. Her research has contributed and continues to contribute so much to the field of nutrition education, and she has inspired me to work in public schools when I graduate with my master's and continue to pursue my PhD in education." Go Pam Koch. "I aspire to be as caring, understanding, and successful as an educator as she is one day." Congratulations, Pam. And so our second winner is Dr. Deborah Newmare, and is no less familiar with TC than Pam. Deborah is Professor of Psychology and Education, the founder and director of the Executive Master's Program in Change Leadership, and the director of Executive Education Programs in Change and Consultation. And if that's not enough, Deborah's also a fabulous, fabulous instructor, as one of her student nominators wrote. It's hard to know what to say about Deborah that would sound significant enough for you to understand her worth and value. She is incredibly intelligent. She is an excellent presenter. She teaches so that learning goes beyond memorization into actual understanding. She is thoughtful and kind. She is one of the only people I've ever met that makes it a priority to actually see each student, holding a space for growth that goes deeper than anyone would expect or even hope for. It's clear that each of us who have been her student is not only more educated by being in her class, but we are also better people because of it. And so, Deborah, congratulations. And then finally, in addition to the actual winners, we also call out a few folks who they get quite a bit of votes, and so we wanted to honor them with what we call honorable mentions. And so please stand and be recognized. Dr. Stephanie McCall from Curriculum Instruction. And Dr. Jess Riccio from Math, Science, and Technology. And so they each received a certificate, and many, many thanks to Jess and Stephanie. Thank you all.
This time I'll remember to raise this without having somebody come and tell me, right? Thank you. Okay, the commitment and dedication of our TC community extends beyond the campus into our local neighborhoods, across New York State, and around the country and the globe. So you'll hear in just a few minutes the work of our alumni in all sectors shows their deep commitment to fixing the challenges of today. Our forward-thinking donors are equally committed to ensuring that resources are available for TC's critical work. TC's former Black Box Theater, below us in this building, is getting a complete makeover. This is thanks to a $5 million commitment from Jody and John Arnholt and the Arnholt Foundation to create the Arnholt Dance Education Research Studios. The new state-of-the-art studios will support TC's dance education doctoral program and institute and extend their reach to the local Harlem community and beyond. A new $1.7 million gift by TC trustee emeritus Elliot S. Jaffe and his wife Rosalind and the Jaffe Family Foundation has bolstered the Jaffe Peace Corps Fellows Program, supporting returned volunteers like Zachary Gomez. Zachary is one of more than 750 returned Peace Corps volunteers that the Jaffe Fund has placed in New York public schools since 1985. He is pursuing his master's in social studies education and teaching 7th grade in a Harlem school. So these are just two examples of the generosity of hundreds of donors who helped us reach and exceed our 2022 fiscal year fundraising goal for a total of $38.1 million. The reality is that it takes all kinds of gifts from corporations, foundations, families, and individuals to fund the endowments, scholarships, and capital projects and more that support our students and the college. We are so grateful for the generosity we receive at all levels. Today, I want to recognize some of TC's most loyal donors who consistently support the college year after year and through their legacy giving. These individuals include members of the college's John Dewey, Maxine Green, and Grace Dodge societies. So let's give a thanks to them. Together with our alumni and donors, we continue our collaborations with community partners to meaningfully impact people in more ways, to highlight just a few examples. At the Teachers College Community School, our partnership with the New York Philharmonic to bring an artist into the school for 3 grades throughout the year culminates in attending special Philharmonic performances. And the inclusion of robotics and creative technology as special daytime programming makes these learning opportunities available to all students, along with music, Spanish, movement, math, literacy, and science. The Arthur Zankel Urban Fellowship has expanded to 66 fellows, working on 20 different projects with the same number of faculty. These projects place our students in schools in the surrounding Harlem community to work on everything from literacy and sustainability to nutrition, music, and history. And for the first time ever, there's a free Saturday program for 5th to 12th graders with junior scholars at the Schomburg Center. Just as important, we know that when we come together as an extended community, we can maximize our impact. We saw this as we embarked on dynamic new efforts this year. For example, our inaugural TC Impact Day was the first ever giving day at the college, with nearly 500 gifts totaling more than $150,000. Plus, more than 1,800 books were donated to TC partner schools in Harlem through our community book drive. Thank you all who supported this effort, and we look forward to building on that next year. So thank you. And the launch of TC Take Action has amplified critical, timely issues by bringing resources, faculty expertise, and advocacy opportunities to our broader community. In the past 6 months alone, 800 advocates have signed up for TC Take Action workshops, and 150 have written letters to legislators on issues such as public service loan forgiveness, voting rights, climate change, culturally responsive education, and gun violence prevention. Professor Sonali Rajan is part of a national team spearheading the nation's first national research conference on firearm injury prevention. Now, let us celebrate the inspiring work of some of our alumni in the field through our 2020 Alumni Awards.
When I was about 12, my aunt was finishing up her dissertation here in the nursing education, and she brought me here. And I remember standing outside and thinking, you know, one day I'm going to be coming here. And then sure enough, in 1989, when I was accepted for my first degree program, I stood in that same spot.
I was on the Student Senate. I'm a big believer in education and leadership. And so then when I got the invitation to the Alumni Council, I was honored, delighted. Being on the council with so many diverse people, as far as what they studied, what they were doing, as well as people who love TC and care about TC and love the world and what they're doing, whatever their world is, be it science or education directly or international.
When I was in about high school, my teacher taught me the bass, and I was like, this is the best thing ever. So I really wanted to give that to other students and young people. And so that's what led me to put together my life mission as an advocate and my passion for music, and kind of marry them together to spearhead into the field of music education.
I wanted to be the adult in the room that thought like a kid and translated that to others making stuff for kids. I can't even describe the impact of TC on my life. The best way to say it is that Teachers College is home. It's a safe haven, a comfort zone, a place to build memories, a place where someone, myself, can truly be myself. It's a place of belonging. It was a place that gave me the mind and humanity to bring to my career.
Ruth Bennett, who was a very prominent sociologist, and she talked about isolation and loneliness, which I thought, wow, social isolation and loneliness, this must relate to hearing loss. Dr. Ventry was the head of the audiology program, so I went to him and I said, I have my dissertation topic, social isolation, loneliness, and hearing loss. And together we created a measure that quantifies the psychosocial effects of hearing loss in older adults. Today that is the most widely used measure of self-reported hearing difficulties in the world.
At Teachers College, I just had the good fortune to study with so many good educators that demonstrated what it meant to be a good educator and care about learning.
Ultimately, when we think in the lens of that we are teachers, it's still a profession. So we go home and then we come back. But when you think about yourself in the context of that you are a caregiver, you just may leave the building, but you don't stop thinking about them.
What Teachers College will do is unlock opportunities that you never thought possible. I have the incredible opportunity right now to actually be working with the mayor and with the chancellor on a school food vision that is addressing nutrition education in a big way. There's so many facets of that job that bring me back to my roots at Teachers College.
That's a pretty amazing group, right, that was just presented to us. What a sampling of our alumni. So I'd like to give them a round of applause once again. Now, before I get started, also please keep in mind that you can find more information and an article on the TC website about these, once again, amazing recipients today. But again, congratulations to all of you. On behalf of the Alumni Association, it's my pleasure to bring you greetings from the Alumni Council. I'm especially happy to be here, as a number of people have said already today, to be here actually in person with you after 3 years of doing this via Zoom or some other kind of technical sort of platform. I first came to TC in 1980. Yes, I was a young child. But yes, I came to TC in 1980 and received my master's degree in organizational psychology, and then eventually moved into the Department of Higher and Adult Education, as it was called at the time. I'm also now involved in, as you know, the Alumni Council and have been president for the last 2 years. And I'm also a adjunct professor of social entrepreneurship, which is a course that I was able to create. And again, feel very grateful to be part of the faculty community as well. Today certainly is a celebration, as you all know, of the resiliency of our extended TC community. Over 90,000, that's right, 90,000 alumni have led, taught, supported, and conducted groundbreaking research during a time unlike any other. Alumni across the globe who are working as educators, policymakers, and healthcare professionals are better equipped to address important social issues. Our alumni are creating a smarter, healthier, and more equitable world just when it is needed most. Today we honor the standout group of Teachers College alumni who are the recipients, again, of the 2022 Alumni Awards. There are 3 categories of awards being issued today or given out. The first is that of the Distinguished Alumni Award, which is given to TC alumni who have proven themselves in their fields and whose impact has been felt on a regional, national, and/or international level. There's also the Early Career Award, which honors graduates who have earned distinction in their field and demonstrate outstanding future potential. And the spirit and purpose of the Alumni Award for Outstanding Service is to honor volunteer leaders who have given sustained, distinguished, and significant volunteer service at Teachers College. And certainly with no further ado, let's have each of these 2022 alumni awardees join us on stage as President Bailey provides them with their award. First, I'd like to invite the Distinguished Alumni Award recipients to come up individually. The first is that of Lisa C. Di Lorenzo, graduate of music and music education. Next is Min E. Hong, graduate of elementary and early childhood education.
Bronx in the house.
Congratulations. Next is Kate McKenzie, graduate of nutrition and public health. My apologies. Congratulations. Next will be Barbara Weinstein, graduate of audiology and speech and language. Congratulations. Alice Wilder, graduate of international educational development. Next, I'd like to ask Ali Mazzara, a graduate of International Educational Development, this year's recipient of the TC Alumni Award for Outstanding Service. Congratulations. And certainly last but not least, I invite our Early Career Award recipient to come up. That is Tanuchaya Kanipukit. My apologies. Graduate of music and music education. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Carmine. Our alumni are truly an inspiration. Now, I wish there were time to acknowledge each of you and to touch on all the great work that is happening here. But I hope that what I have shared gives you a sense of our collective impact and our plans for the future. I thank you, and our community thanks you for your scholarship, your dedication to TC, and your contributions to a better world. Thank you as well to everyone who is serving in various roles, our search committees, the Student Senate, our COVID working group who guided us to this point and continues to monitor health and wellness, and all of the other group efforts that keep this institution going. Congratulations once again to all of today's incredible award recipients. Now, as you may have heard, the college will close at 1 p.m. on Wednesday, November 23rd, to give us all a jump start on the Thanksgiving holiday. And I hope you have an enjoyable few days and return reinvigorated to finish all of the fall semester.